Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to another little podcast. Feeling a lot happier today than last time I came on. I think everything has sort of changed in the last 24 hours. It's amazing what a win can do. And I don't know what your feelings are about it, but I think something's gone on there, hasn't it? It must have done. I know we were talking about uh, Gary Cook coming clean and saying what was happening, or Rooney telling us what was wrong with the players. And I think, they look at the social media, they see the general feeling of everyone, really. And I think what's happened there is someone has sort of thought to themselves, you know what, rather than having to go in and do something drastic, let's just go down to the training ground or whatever, bang their heads together and get them on side, because that appears to me what's happened. There was a certain friendliness between the players and the manager. That sounds a bit mad, doesn't it? But there's a certain friendliness between the players and the manager yesterday that's been missing for eight. Well, I don't think I've ever seen it before with Rooney. We had it with Eustace. There was that certain togetherness that I think's been missing, and that was a little spark that ignited that performance last night, because it wasn't like an incredible performance or anything. And we was playing Cardiff, although like they're seventh in the table. But, I think they were like 6 points above Blues or something like that. Not an absolutely fantastic team. They'd only won two of the last five games, but you can only play what's in front of you. And I thought like the first half, a little bit scrappy at times, um, and we grew into it more and more as the game went on. I think the thing that was interesting to me was that there'd obviously been a compromise there, and I don't know whether Wagner's got on the phone to Gary Cook and said, "Get your fucking finger out, like get down there, sort them out. What's going on? There's loads of shit going off in social media. Doesn't look good for the club." And he's talking about getting investors. Well, what he needs to do, it's all right saying he wants the club in the press a lot, but he doesn't want them in the press for the wrong reasons. And it's not true that any publicity is good publicity. Of course, it isn't. And it hasn't been good publicity because we've been absolutely crap, haven't we? And what happened yesterday, I think, was someone somewhere has thought, you know what, this has got to stop, because if it doesn't stop, they're going to have to do something drastic. And I think suddenly, like, a rocket's been fired up the backside of someone, to use Pete Hannon's terminology. A rocket's been fired up someone's backside at St Andrews, and they've thought, you know what, we've got to act now. And I think that's what they've done. I think the players, hopefully, the players and the manager have had a sit down, even with an intermediary, or just talking amongst each other, and decided what they're not happy with, what they're happy with, and how they're going to move forward with it. And I think the results of that yesterday was what we saw with our own eyes. It was great. So we've got a back four now that resembles something like we had before, not in terms of the actual players, but the way they played. So we had Avu at right back, who looked really good. I thought he looked settled. The two centre backs, Roberts looked fine alongside Sanderson. He gets a certain amount of strength from Sanderson, I think, because he's not the greatest player on the ground. He's good in the air. He can whack the ball a bit, and he'll put himself in front of anything, I mean. And we've seen that last night. And the same with Sanderson. I mean, Sanderson took a couple of real hits with the ball last night. As we've seen one late on, he looked very, very painful. And then we had Buchanan left back. Oh, I've got to say, it's been a revelation since we signed him. Absolutely amazing. I mean, what a great player he is. Can't remember what we paid him. We paid 500,000 for him. I'm not surprised Swansea were gutted when he didn't sign for them, because this lad's a real player. Really is. Bringing the Sunic and Bilic partnership back in front of the back four, I thought helped them immensely. A lot of people have said that Bilic didn't play particularly well last night. He was sloppy at times, I've got to say, but he's a certain strength that we miss there when he's not there. He's a big lad. He's strong. He's not scared to get amongst it, as we see. And then you got Sunic doing all the ratting, chasing around, putting his foot in. And Sunic was great again last night, and we've missed him. We've missed that certain little pairing of those two sitting in front of the back four and giving them a bit of protection. We had the mercurial Bacuna, who at times last night frustrated. He was wayward at times, a couple of shots that just went nowhere. he had a fantastic chance to put Stansfield through and he muffed it. But then you see that opportunity he takes 3 minutes into injury time in the first half. I mean, he was playing with the goalkeeper. It was absolutely amazing, you know. I mean, just total arrogance, and he just rolls it into the net. Absolutely brilliant. So Bacuna's one of those players, you know, you either have him in the side or you don't. If you're going to have him in the side, you've got to expect that he's going to mess up sometimes. The price you pay for that is little bits of absolute brilliance. And we've seen it at times, some of the free kicks, some of the goals he scores. The one last night, just, you know, I don't think I've ever seen it. I think he just knocked it over the keeper, played with the keeper a bit, and then rolled it into the net. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. That's what you get with Bacuna. You're not going to get like someone that's running 90 minutes. You're not going to get someone that's going to make the easy pass all the time. He's going to be a little bit selfish at times because he loves playing the game and he's really, really skillful. He likes to show off his skills. You can't blame him for that. And if he messes up now and again and the manager doesn't think it's worth the risk, then he'll be dropped. Simple as that. James had a nice, steady game, grew into the game as it went on. He's looking more and more mature. I think he's definitely one that we want to hang on to. But when people are talking about a January window, then I think we've got to look at James and think if we want some income to spend some money, you just never know. Someone might come in for him. He's good. And then Dembele, non-stop, run himself into the ground, as did Stansfield. Dembele's got that little tendency at times to want to beat a player 2 or 3 times. He shouldn't do it, you know, but a bit like Bacuna, you know, I think he just loves toying with players. He absolutely destroys some of them. And he's a real pain in the arse for defenders. They've got to know where he is. They've got to make sure that they don't get too close to him. There's a lot of stuff that Dembele brings to the game that Blues would miss if he wasn't there. Stansfield, you know, I mean, at the moment, he's not on his best form. But last night, he ran and ran and ran. And what they did offer last night, Blues, in terms of difference, was the compromise really was playing the back four how they've always played it and doing stuff they understand. Having those two sitting in front, protecting them, and then having the front four pressing. And that was and they did press. You know, Stansfield just didn't stop. I mean, you got to take your hat off to him. You know, he was absolutely great. Stansfield, he looked brilliant. And like I said, the back four were great. You know, I just think, generally speaking, it was just a really, really good performance. Ruddy was. This is something else I really liked about last night, because you could even see that John Ruddy was making an effort to play the sweeper, wasn't he? You know, it's like he got the ball at his feet at one point, and there's like players all around him, and he looked for the short pass. He found it. They found someone else. Come back to Ruddy again. He played it somewhere else. They got it out of the back. They got it out, you know, without having to resort to the long ball. So it shows give and take, doesn't it? They're playing the way that they normally play, but they're saying to Rooney, okay, listen, we're going to try and play it out from the back. You know, we're going to give you something. Let us just play our own game. And I think it just worked brilliantly. I don't think there was anything wrong with that performance last night. People are having complaints. They always do. Never happy. I mean, I've been the biggest critic over the last few weeks. But you know what? It's like I said on the last podcast. We've got a right to say what we think. And to me, no one's come out and said, listen, we've listened to you. And I don't mean listen to me, but, you know, listen, we've listened to you, supporters. They haven't put a statement out saying this, and we're going to make sure it doesn't happen, because it's not the style of Knighthead. They're not like that. We even see it interacting with the directors at the club. You know, we do things and we don't always get positive results from them coming back, but we see the end result because they do what we want to do. So it's a sort of way of, you know, they do what they want to do. We're not making them do it, but they do it and it's good. It shows they understand us. You know, for us, just for knowing that something happened yesterday, and I don't care what anyone says, someone said something because that was different. We know they're listening to us. So don't be scared to voice your opinion. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. People have emailed in about it. You know, we've brought it up nearly every day over the last 10 days, 14 days. you know, and a little bit of moan about the way things are, and the obvious unrest that was in the camp. It just wasn't good. And I think like the thing that finished it off for me and made it really, really nice was that togetherness at the end when they came to the away fans and they did the old John Eustace thing. You know, it was great. The players and the manager together. You know, I'm sure, I think I see Rooney smile. He may have had wind, I don't know, but I think he smiled. He had his arm around, I think he had his arm around Sanderson at one point. So they've obviously made friends if there was any problem in the first place. But everyone looked happy, and it was a happy camp last night. And I know whoever went, and you got the reward if you went last night, because last night was probably one of the least favourable games to go to away from home. Middle of the week, Wednesday night in Cardiff, not a particularly attractive fixture to think about. And it's coming up to Christmas, you know, so difficult game. And if you went last night, honestly, you deserved what you got. It was absolutely great. I'm so happy for you. And I know the loony buses went down. And I hope you guys had a bit of fun on the way back. I'm absolutely certain you did. And just all round a great day. You know, we've got nothing to complain about today. There's a few people having a little bit of a pop at us today, which we don't mind. That's good. I don't care. It shows that we're making a difference somewhere. And you know, thanks again for coming on, having a little look at the podcast. I've gone absolutely mad over the last week, and I'm really pleased about that. And I've had some people that usually use YouTube who have now come onto the project. So it's nice just to bring the two things together for us, because, like I said yesterday, not everyone likes the written word and they like to hear about it. So basically, what I'm telling you now is sort of what I've written earlier, first thing this morning, by the way, about 6 a.m. In a piece that I did into the project. So I'm hoping that everyone's feeling happy today. Like I said, didn't kick the cat today, so that's good. Cat's happy, I'm happy, all you lot are happy. Don't forget, Monday, home to Leicester. Let's get everyone down there, please. If you can get down there, get down there. We need that atmosphere. We're riding the crest of a wave a little bit. I know that sounds absolutely crazy because we won one game, but we're all feeling positive. We're all feeling good. And you know what? I mean, if we lose to Leicester, it's only what everyone is expecting. But anyone that's playing Leicester at the moment expects to lose. Imagine if we can come away with something. But even if we don't, what we can do, if we put a performance in, show that we care, you know, give the players the support, and they give us something to be proud of. That's all we want from them. It's all right. You know, everyone's saying it's absolutely brilliant what I've done to the ground. You know, it's made us happy as they put some really nice products in there, undefeated and that. Yeah, we're happy. We love that. You know, they set fireworks up at the start of the ground. Well, we love that. Like, we like being a bit American in Brum, don't we? And they've done this and they've done that. Yeah, yeah. But you know what makes you happiest of all? What happened last night? That's what it's about. It's about the football at the end of the day. So, you know, they can do whatever they want. But these guys are going to know, they're going to know the reaction they get from Blues fans now, that we don't mind, we're patient, but when the players stop playing and the manager has his arse in his hand a little bit, then it's time for everyone to get their heads together and get it worked out. And that's what's happened. So it's happy me tonight, and hopefully it's happy you. Monday, we'll look forward to it. Thanks for tuning in again. Don't forget, if you can, just subscribe and like it as well. If you want to leave, I love getting the comments, by the way. So if you've got any questions, anything like that, feel free to ask. Also, join us, BCFC, the project on Facebook. You know, 8,000 followers, 4,000 visitors. There's a lot of people there, but everyone has a fair say. All right, it's a decent place to be. It's not like the rest of them. Okay. Listen, have a good evening, and I'm going to speak to you over the weekend. Okay. Thanks very much, and we'll see you soon. Bye.